The courtroom fell dead silent as 5-year-old Lily Hart entered, her tiny fingers gripping Max's leash. The scarred German shepherd walked beside her like a furry bodyguard, his ears alert. Every eye followed them until Max suddenly froze. His low growl echoed through the room as he locked onto defendant Ryan Mitchell. Judge Daniel Harper's gavel hovered midair. No one moved. Why would a therapy dog react like this to a stranger? The answer would unravel a nightmare no one saw coming. Lily hadn't spoken a word since the abduction. Not to cops, not to her parents. But in court, she didn't need to. With one subtle hand signal, a secret plea for help, Max erupted into a protective snarl, his teeth bared at Ryan Mitchell. The prosecutor's eyes widened. That growl wasn't just training, it was recognition. The jury gasped. This dog knew something they didn't. And if Max could talk, he'd say Ryan's name. It started with a black van and a lie about puppies. The moment Ryan Mitchell grabbed Lily's arm, her voice vanished, locked away by terror. For weeks, she screamed in silence until Max, the retired K9, didn't need words. He felt her panic in the tremble of her hands, saw the monster in her nightmares. And when Lily finally pointed at Ryan in court, Max's reaction confirmed the truth. This was the man who tried to steal her. Court is adjourned for 15 minutes. Judge Harper's voice boomed as Max's growl still hung in the air. The defense attorney objected, called it theatrics. But the judge had seen enough. That dog didn't growl at random people. He'd spent years training K9s. Max's aggression was targeted. As the room emptied, Harper pulled the prosecutor aside. Dig deeper. That dog just gave us our best lead. It was barely a twitch, Lily's fingers curling inward, a silent distress call she'd learned in therapy. The jury missed it. The lawyers missed it. But Max didn't. In seconds, his body coiled like a spring, his focus laser-locked on Ryan. The message was clear, that man is dangerous. And as the courtroom erupted in murmurs, one chilling question remained, how did Max know? Pink dress spinning, laughter ringing, Lily was the picture of childhood joy. Then the van idled at the curb. Ryan's smile was friendly, his voice sweet. I've got puppies in here, he lied. For 3 seconds, Lily hesitated. That was all it took. The door creaked open. Shadows reached for her. By the time her mother screamed, Lily was already halfway to the van and her innocence was gone. Ryan Mitchell's voice dripped honey as he knelt to Lily's level. Special puppies need a girl like you. His van door yawned open, no barks, no whimpers, just silence. Lily's stomach twisted. Something was wrong. But before she could run, his grip tightened. Later, investigators would find candy wrappers and zip ties in that van. But that day, there were no puppies. Only a predator. Sophia Hart stepped inside for one call. For minutes. That's all it took. When she returned, the gate was ajar. Lily stood frozen, a stranger's hand on her arm. Sophia's scream shattered the afternoon. Ryan bolted, tires screeching. But the real horror? Lily didn't cry. Didn't speak. Just trembled, her wide eyes staring at nothing. The silence was worse than any scream. Evelyn Parker's shout, "Get away from that child," was the only reason Lily escaped. The 72-year-old lunged with her terrier, forcing Ryan to loosen his grip. But as the van sped off, Evelyn caught 3 letters on the license plate, YKZ. She'd testify later, voice shaking. I'll never forget that man's eyes. Like he'd done this before. Mommy, look. Butterflies. Those were Lily's last words before Ryan's van appeared. Afterward, not even her favorite stuffed bunny could coax a whisper. Doctors called it selective mutism, her mind's way of protecting her. But deep down, Sophia knew the truth. Lily's voice didn't vanish. It was stolen. And only one creature could help her find it again. The moment Max limped into Dr. Olivia Grant's animal therapy center, his golden eyes locked onto Lily. That jagged scar down his flank? A badge of honor from rescuing a child years earlier. Now retired, he sensed Lily's pain like an old wound. Where humans saw a broken girl, Max saw a mission. His first act? Resting his head in her lap without being asked. For the first time since the abduction, Lily's fingers unclenched, reaching slowly, so slowly, to touch his fur. A silent agreement passed between them. I'll keep you safe. Night after night, Max stood guard against Lily's nightmares. When she thrashed, he'd nudge her awake with his cold nose. When she hid under blankets, he'd dig her out with gentle paws. Then came the breakthrough, a crayon drawing of a girl and dog standing back to back against shadowy figures. Dr. Grant choked up. She's telling the story she can't say aloud. Max licked Lily's cheek that day, tasting salt. Progress. Gee, good boy. The whisper was so faint. Sophia dropped the laundry basket. There Lily stood, palm on Max's head, the words hanging like fragile glass. Max's tail thumped once, twice. Then he rolled over, demanding belly rubs as if nothing monumental had happened. Sophia wept into his fur. That night, Lily slept without screaming for the first time since the van. 3:17 a.m. The whimper started soft, then escalated into silent, gasping terror. Max was already there, his 85-pound frame curling around Lily like a living shield. When she clawed at invisible hands, he pinned her wrists down with his muzzle, not to hurt, but to ground her. Breathe, his steady heartbeat said. I'm here. By dawn, her fingers were tangled in his scruff, their rhythm synced. Two broken souls stitching each other back together. The police flipped through Lily's crayon sketches with mounting dread. A black van with zigzag doors, just like Ryan's. A stick figure with X's for eyes. And always the German shepherd between her and the monster. Detective Carter's hands shook. This isn't imagination. She's IDing her abductor. Max sniffed the drawings and growled at the van. Case closed. Nathan Brooks had it all planned, discredit the mute child, emphasize zero physical evidence. Then Max lunged at Ryan during cross-examination, saliva flying. Control your animal, Nathan shouted. But the jury saw it the way Ryan's pupils dilated with raw fear. Like a man who'd met this dog before. The prosecutor smirked. Seems the defense's case just went to the dogs. The judge leaned down. Sweetheart, can you show us who hurt you? Lily's arm rose like a marionette's, one tiny finger extending toward Ryan. Then Max erupted, a guttural snarl that shook the benches. Ryan's coffee cup slipped from his hand. That wasn't just recognition. That was vengeance. The bailiff's hand drifted to his taser. No one breathes when a K9 promises violence. Your Honor, this is a circus. Nathan Brooks objected. Judge Harper silenced him with a raised hand, eyes fixed on Max's quivering haunches. Officer, he said to the K9 handler in the gallery, can dogs remember suspects years later? The answer, a weighted pause, sent chills through the room, only the ones who left scars. Ryan's gulp was audible. Detective Carter sprinted to the evidence room. Pull Mitchell's old addresses. Anywhere with K9 units. Meanwhile, Max paced the courthouse hallway, whining at a janitor's closet. Inside, they found mops, bleach, and a faded police report. Ryan had worked as a security guard at a kennel, one rated for dogfighting. The connection? Max's retired trainer was the lead officer. The puzzle pieces clicked. Ryan hadn't just taken kids. He'd hurt dogs too. Ava Reynolds slammed a map onto the table. Max reacted strongest near the northern woods. Why? Satellite images revealed a derelict cabin owned by Ryan's deceased uncle. Get a warrant, she ordered. As the team geared up, Max strained at his leash, nostrils flaring. He caught a scent. And this time they'd let him hunt. Detective Carter studied Max's behavior like a roadmap. The way the dog's ears pricked forward at crime scene photos, how he growled at Ryan's scent sample, this wasn't just training. Max was connecting dots humans couldn't see. Run the dog's history again, Carter ordered. I want every case he worked before retirement. The answer would lead them down a darker path than anyone imagined. The lab results came back at 3 a.m. Dirt from Ryan's van tires matched a remote northern location. It's an old hunting cabin, the tech said, pointing to satellite images showing a single access road. Detective Carter's blood ran cold. Isolated. Soundproof. The perfect place to hide someone. Or something. Max whined at the photos, scratching at the door. He knew time was running out. The raid team moved in silence until Max broke formation. The German shepherd charged the cabin's rotting porch, his barks echoing through the pines. Then came the sound that stopped everyone, a faint metallic rattle from below. There's a basement, Carter realized. As they pried up floorboards, Max's whines turned frantic. He could smell what they couldn't, fear, sweat, and the faintest trace of strawberry shampoo. The beam of Carter's flashlight revealed a tiny figure curled in the corner. 8-year-old Emma Harper, missing for 6 months, blinked up at them with sunken eyes. Her ankle was raw from shackles, her pink backpack still clutched to her chest. Max approached slowly, licking her fingers as she whispered, "You found me." The team would later discover Ryan kept trophies, a drawer full of children's hair ribbons. The forensic team worked through the night. Ryan's sweat on the chains. His fingerprints on the food tins. But the smoking gun? A single blonde hair in Emma's grip, Lily's, from the abduction attempt. He kept souvenirs, Ava Reynolds told the press, her voice shaking. Max sat vigil outside the interrogation room, growling every time Ryan's voice carried through the walls. They brought Max into the interrogation room deliberately. Ryan's smirk vanished when 85 pounds of muscle and fury padded inside. The dog circled twice, then sat facing him, unblinking. "He's waiting for you to run," Carter said mildly. When Ryan shifted uncomfortably, Max's lip curled, revealing just enough teeth. For the first time, the predator became the prey. Recognition flashed in Ryan's eyes as Max inched closer. This was no ordinary therapy dog, this was the K9 who'd foiled his burglary operation years ago. The scar on Max's side? From Ryan's own knife. "You," he breathed. Max's answering growl shook the two-way mirror. The detectives exchanged glances. They'd just gotten a confession without asking a single question. The plea deal came suddenly. Life without parole. Ryan wouldn't even look at Max as he signed the papers. Later, guards would report him muttering in his cell, "That damn dog." Meanwhile, Max received a steak dinner at the precinct, his tail wagging as Lily fed him bites under the table. Two survivors celebrating their victory. Judge Harper brought Max into court for sentencing day. As Ryan was led away in chains, the German Shepherd let out one sharp woof. The canine equivalent of case closed. The gallery erupted in applause. Lily, clutching Max's leash, finally smiled. Later, court sketches would show her tiny hand resting on Max's head like a knight anointing his squire. The cameras were rolling when Lily knelt before Max, her hands framing his scarred face. "Thank you," she whispered, her first full sentence since the abduction. Reporters gasped. Sophia burst into tears. "And Max?" He licked her nose, then promptly stole a reporter's notebook to shred. Because even heroes deserve to be goofballs sometimes. The video went viral by sundown. The jagged scar along Max's flank told a story of violence, just like Lily's silence spoke of unspeakable fear. But together, they found a language beyond words, Max nudging Lily's hand when nightmares came, Lily tracing his scar with gentle fingers. Dr. Grant called it mirrored healing. Two survivors, one teaching the other to trust again. When Lily finally laughed at Max's goofy ear flop, Sophia knew these wounds would become badges of courage, not chains of trauma. It happened at the courthouse steps. As reporters shouted questions, Lily suddenly buried her face in Max's neck, her tiny arms squeezing with all her might. The dog didn't move, just leaned into her, his tail giving one solemn wag. Photographers captured the moment, a child clinging to the living shield who'd carried her through hell. Later, Max would sneak into her bed every night, his weight a permanent reminder, "I'm not going anywhere." The first time Lily stepped back into that yard, she froze at the swing where Ryan had approached her. Max sensed it immediately, he bolted ahead, sniffing every inch before returning to nudge her forward. Then, in a move that shattered Sophia's heart, Lily climbed onto the swing, and Max gently pushed it with his nose. Back and forth, until her giggles drowned out the ghosts. Reclaiming what was stolen, one wag at a time. At the children's hospital, Lily walked confidently beside Max, her voice clear as she introduced him to a mute boy in the psych ward. "This is Max. He's a good listener." The way the boy's fingers twined in Max's fur mirrored Lily's own first touch. A nurse later found them curled together, the boy whispering secrets into Max's ear. The cycle of healing had begun, and Lily, once voiceless, was now leading the chorus. The mayor presented Max with a diamond-encrusted collar, which he promptly tried to eat. News stations called for interviews, he peed on their cables. But his real reward came every morning, Lily's sleepy face burying into his fur, whispering "Good morning, hero," as she fastened his regular collar. The scars remained, but so did the steak dinners, the endless toys, and the one thing a retired K9 needs most, a little girl who thinks he hung the moon. Detective Carter's report was chilling. Ryan's van had blackout curtains, a lock on the inside handle. 30 seconds more, and Lily would have vanished like the others. Evelyn, the neighbor, still woke at 3 a.m. hearing phantom tires screech. At the memorial for missing children, Max pressed against her leg, a silent thank you. Some heroes wear cardigans, not badges. Cold case files revealed the truth. Max took that scar intercepting Ryan during a 2 a.m. burglary years prior. The K9 had protected one child then, only to cross paths with the monster again. "Dogs don't forget," his former handler said, showing Lily Max's old arrest photos. That night, she kissed the scar goodnight. Some bonds are written in scars and survival. The FBI found Polaroids in Ryan's storage unit, 5 smiling faces that never made it home. Max sniffed each one, growling at 3. New searches began. Lily left flowers at their memorials, Max beside her. Some stories don't end with a trial. Some healing means remembering those who didn't get a Max of their own. The guilt hit Sophia at 2 a.m. If only Lily had described Ryan immediately, maybe Emma wouldn't have suffered. But Dr. Grant was firm, survival isn't logical. Max knew when she was ready. Proof came weeks later when Lily drew a new picture, herself holding hands with a stick figure Emma under the words "Sisters Now." Some rescues happen in the heart first. The courtroom erupted as Max lunged at Ryan, teeth bared, only to stop inches from his face, hot breath fogging Ryan's glasses. It wasn't an attack. It was a message. The bailiff's body cam caught Ryan's whispered confession, "Okay. Okay, I did it," as Max's growl vibrated through his chest. The judge would later call it the most convincing testimony I've ever seen. And Max? He got extra bacon that night. When Judge Harper abruptly halted proceedings, everyone assumed it was about evidence. Then he did something unprecedented. He called Max to the bench. This court recognizes K9 Max as an expert witness. The jury leaned forward as Max demonstrated, sniffing Ryan's chair and immediately going rigid. The forensic team would later match Ryan's cologne to the cabin's bedding. Sometimes the best expert wears a fur coat. The courthouse security footage went viral in hours. There it was, Lily's subtle finger twitch, Max's instant response. Child psychologists analyzed the tape frame by frame. That signal wasn't just trained. It was their private language. Ryan's lawyer demanded the video be excluded. Too late. 3 million people had already seen the moment a girl and her dog outsmarted a predator. The newspaper headlines said it all. On one side, Ryan Mitchell, calculated and smug. On the other, a scarred German shepherd who'd failed retirement. What the article didn't mention: how Max positioned himself between Lily and Ryan at all times. Or how Ryan's left eye twitched whenever Max yawned, revealing those impressive canines. Game, set, match to the dog with nothing left to prove. From Good Morning America to military forums, Max's story exploded. Veterans recognized his tactics. That's textbook K9 suspect intimidation. Therapists praised his empathy. Even the White House sent a dog bone-shaped commendation. Through it all, Max remained unimpressed, except when Lily revealed his new title, Best Brother Ever. That got a tail wag. And possibly a stolen slice of pizza. The forensic team found a voice-activated recorder hidden in the cabin walls. When Sophia heard Ryan's taunting "Nobody's coming for you," followed by Emma's whimpers, her knees buckled. What the news didn't air. The next clip, Emma whispering to herself, "Be brave like the dog girl on TV." Max licked both their faces when they finally met, cementing his role as ambassador of hope. Detective Carter still wakes hearing that sound, Max's high-pitched whine as he nosed Chloe's limp hand. The body cam shows the moment the dog's demeanor shifted from search K9 to grieving protector. Later, they learn Chloe had a German shepherd at home. Max somehow knew. Now, he sends her a chewed tennis ball every birthday. Some bonds transcend rescue. Sophia found it tucked under Max's bed. A crayon-scrawled note with 2 handprints. One human, one inked paw. Child psychologists called it a breakthrough. The press called it heartwarming. Max? He framed it with his teeth, literally, and hung it by his food bowl. Every morning, Lily reads it aloud to him. His tail thumps the same rhythm each time. Morse code for "I know." At sentencing, Ryan made one last demand: "Keep that dog away from me." Judge Harper's response became instant legend. "Funny, Lily Hart made the same request about you." The gallery erupted. Max, perfectly timed, let out a loud woof from the spectators' bench. Even the bailiffs cracked smiles. Justice tastes best when served with a side of karma. The truth came out during Ryan's appeal. Max's injury hadn't ended his career. His refusal to work with any handler after his partner's death had. He imprinted on that girl like she was his fallen officer, his trainer confessed. The night Lily first slept through the night, Max had finally stood down from a decade-long vigil. Some dogs don't just get new leases on life, they earn second souls.